Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. For those of you who have geeked out with us for a while now, you will know that there are particular themes that we try to stay very true here at Washington Gun Law. One of which is we're never going to tell you how to think, but we're going to give you all the stuff to think about. We talk all the time about what you have the right to do, and that's how sometimes that's different than doing the right thing. The other thing that we are really big on here at Washington Gun Law is equal application of the law. We want to see similar issues treated by the law in a similar fashion. Equal application of the law is important to actually ensuring that you have a democratic society. That also means when tragic events occur, we would expect to see our politicians and our legal system react to them in a similar fashion, but that is not the case the way it works in this country, at least currently. So today, I want to talk to you about some of the big hypocrisy that we see from the gun-grabbing left and point out some horrible inconsistencies in the way that they choose to apply the law. So today, let's spend a few minutes and talk about the assault weapon that no one wants to ban. Okay, so the issue we're talking about today is anytime there is a tragic event which involves a firearm, the immediate chatter from everybody on the left is we need to ban the firearms. That the firearm in and of itself created the problem, went into the mall or wherever it was, shot the place up by itself, never focusing on the person standing behind that firearm. What brings this topic up today is a horrible event which took place late last week in Brownsville, Texas, in which a driver intentionally drove into a migrant center packed full of undocumented aliens, killing 8 of them and seriously injuring 10. By all accounts, this was done on purpose and was an act of intentional murder. That individual has now been charged with 8 counts of murder and 10 more counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Now, unfortunately, this is not the first time that we have seen the automobile used to commit mass murder. Let us remember back in 2021 at a Christmas parade in Wisconsin, a driver intentionally ran into the crowd there, killing 6 and injuring dozens more. Let us remember 2017, in which an Islamic extremist took a rental truck onto a bike path, intentionally running people over, killing 8 and injuring dozens more. And of course, we can never forget the horrific terrorist attack which took place in 2016 in Nice, France, in which Islamic terrorists used the moving van to mow down and kill 84 people attending an outdoor celebration and injuring hundreds more. As a matter of fact, the automobile turns out to be one of the most deadliest devices known to man. This week alone, how many people will be slaughtered on our roadway due to negligent driving, reckless driving, or worse yet, impaired driving? We kill thousands and thousands of individuals every year on our roadways through our own negligence and criminal conduct using the motor vehicle. But whenever do those on the gun-grabbing left start talking about banning cars? After this incident in Texas, is anyone talking about banning cars? After the incident in Wisconsin a couple of years ago, did anyone talk about banning cars? After the horrific attack in New York City a few years ago, did anyone talk about banning cars? When we pick up the paper tomorrow and you see all the people who unfortunately have lost their lives due to impaired, drunk, and intoxicated driving, is any one of those state legislatures talking about banning cars or banning booze? No. And despite the fact that all of these tragedies have already occurred with cars, and there will be plenty more, despite the fact that we will kill thousands of people this year through our own negligent, reckless, and impaired driving, despite the fact that we will have accident after accident after accident, some of which could be avoided, some of which are nothing more than terrible accidents, and hundreds of people will die this month in automobile accidents, despite the fact that we have this long history of the automobile being used as a weapon of mass murder. Not one time has anyone ever talked about banning cars or banning alcohol. But when we have one shooting one mass shooting, then the only solution that is ever being offered is to ban the guns. Why is it that we don't want to ban the cars? Why is it we don't want to ban the alcohol, despite the fact that neither of them are constitutionally protected, but we always want to ban the guns despite the fact of the clear constitutional protections afforded them? Why is it that we don't call out the double standard? Because at the point that we're talking about this incident in Brownsville, Texas, and all the outcry that has been about this individual, not one time has anyone described the type of car that was being driven or what the car did. No, rather instead, we are focusing, shockingly, on the individual that is responsible for the destruction. The car is not responsible for that destruction. The individual behind the wheel is. It is no different than a firearm is not responsible for the death and destruction it creates. The person whose finger is on the trigger, they're the one that is responsible. The double standard from the gun grabbing left is deafening, but it is not the tool that is the problem. It is the person using the tool. What we hope here at Washington Gun Law and everywhere around the nation is that politicians can finally start applying equal legal standards to all of our dilemmas. Listen, you may have more questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights. You guys should know how to contact Washington Gun Law by now, but if you don't, that's okay, because that information is right there in the description box. In the meantime, I do want all of you to remember that part of being a lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here at Washington Gun Law, is to know what this law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching. Stay safe.